right, welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, last session we did put up the fix for one more T-Guy crash. And now maybe we can... This would mismatch. This is not actually doing what they think it does. Yeah, okay. So I don't know what this change is about. It looks strange. What is this? Set floating point around one to chop. I don't know what this actually does. So Control FP. Let me see. What is that? Control FP. Control. Oof. So the new val is PC 64. What is that? Oof. Unknown value. New control word bit values. $64 bits here. 24 bits. Let me ask what ChatGPT knows about this. What can you tell me about Control FP and this value and that? Components related floating point control on Microsoft C runtime, especially on x86. Float.h is used to get set the x floating point control word. New control, the new setting you want to apply, mask. Position control running mode. For example, you can disable all floating point exceptions like this. Okay. Or set the running mode to chop, truncate. Meaning, this is a constant used to set the precision control to 64-bit. Used with MCWPC, mask to change the precision. Single, double, extended. Primarily relevant on x86 architecture where the FPU allows variable precision, such as the 87 FPU. Has no effect on x64. It sets the FPU precision to 64-bit, useful in older x86 programs where you want to avoid double rounding errors by ensuring extended precision. So everything is treated as a double, basically. Only applies to x86. Let me ask why what is the difference, what is the practical difference between PC that and that? I guess it just means that the float has less precision. That's it, right? What is the practical difference? 24 bits of precision is less precision, I guess. Let's see. Practical difference, precisely floating point numbers are calculated. Intermediate precision, using computations and can lead to different numerical results, running behaviors and performance. Okay, so this is float, double, default in many cases, fast, less precise, highest precision, slower. Accuracy. The intermediate is rounded early to 24 precision, like float, so B might not exactly be 1. Yeah. Keeps on 6 and B is more likely to be exactly 1. Practical difference, portability and bugs. Using PC64 may lead to results that differ between platforms. Hard to reproduce bugs if your algorithm relies on exact floating point behavior. Extra debugging difficulty if intermediate values change. Might be faster, slower. Put the turtle here. Choose 64, you need maximum precision, scientific work, minimizing rounding, error. Yeah, because the same it's legacy code that relies on extended. When you want fast, float-like behavior, you work in performance critical environments. Yeah, I think it just means, yeah, you get more precision on your math calculation, but it won't avoid rounding errors in the end, right? So I think this change does nothing. This change does nothing. I will close it. Yeah. Good. Okay, so what do we have here? Sync with generals. Okay, let me see. Okay, resolved. Okay, I think that looks good, yeah. Okay, I can also put here Gentech. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me put a checkbox here. Okay. Simplify the code and that a bit. No semantic changes. Looks good. He hasn't replicated that, right? No. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Okay, what else is approved? Quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. Let's see of the older things here. Okay, let's merge. This one we cannot merge yet. Okay, we have a bunch of crash fixes here. Okay. Okay, which one do we want to merge first? I think this one here is pretty safe. This change fixes the game crash. I looked at all other movement functions. They're already tested. Fix game crash and that. Okay. Okay, we have a lot of drafts here. It's a big smiley. Okay, let me see if Mauler has anything left open that we should look at. This one is a draft. This one here, I don't know. I think this one still needs work. This one we can merge later once we get to the enhancements. Yeah. I think right now we still should like focus in the realms of stability before we unlock the features. Yeah, to have like a bit of like a little bit of organization of priorities. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what do we merge next? This one here, I think Helmut had a comment. To error is an English verb. To error isn't. Okay, is that so? Is error a word? Yes, error is a word that means to make a mistake. Aha, to err is human. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Then I will get to the ref PTR. Which errors? Okay. Is there anything else that might need some fixing in here? Some language fixing? New thing. Okay. Can we reset this change? Is there anything else we wanted to do here? Let me see. I think here I wanted to improve this a bit. It's generally used for objects returned by peak functions. It's generally used for objects returned by operator, new, and get functions. Fix comments. Oh, I was not aware. Fixed. Okay. Is this set actually useful? No add ref. I think it does. Okay. Oh, I'm surprised that this is already approved. Still stuff to be done. I tested both code paths and they both work and produce expected results. For the original path, if you have 2 terrors in the bus and other occupants, everything dies. For the alternative code path, everything dies, so it's 2 terrors and half health in the bus. So it appears to work as you would expect at this point. For the second pass, if you place a full health and a half health, the half health dies and the other occupants survive at half health. So not exactly the correct behavior, but gets around the crash. For the second pass, if you place a full health and a half health, occupants survive at half health. For the original path, I put this here deliberately because this is exactly how the original code behaves, how the original codes behaves. This is exactly because the sound is also triggered with the retail behavior of this function. I did not intend to change that in this change. Intent. Actually, trying a bit more, the damage doesn't necessarily propagate on this to other units, even in the original. So having a half health terrorist, full of terrorists on other units, still left everyone else. Yeah. Yes. The terrors will not damage other units inside the container. If I added a comment on the second, I added a comment on the non-retail compatible CLC codes version that also explains this. With this change and in retail. In retail and this change. Okay. Then let's get to the next one. So we can, I would say we merge this one here, right? This one. Okay. This change fixes two nullity references when attempting to load and to replay whose map is missing. Loading empty map is not particularly useful. So this is minor stability. Let's look over this one more time. Couldn't find a waypoint. Must be kind of far away. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that looks pretty safe. Oh, is this meant to be merged with rebase? Oh, it is. I see. Okay. I see. Is everything looking correct here? Yeah. Looks right. Oops. Okay. Merge with rebase. There we go. Okay. So that is done. Let's see if everything looks in order here in our commit list. Okay. This is also meant to be merged with rebase. Implement new replay not found, map not found dialogues and attempting to load a replay that was deleted or whose map is missing. Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. It's quite a mouthful. It needs to be replicated in generals. I see. I would have preferred out parameters. What's with the title? Would better to have the title be something like inform when replays can't be loaded. I click it and find out maybe the titles. Right, there's this thing here. Okay. Replay once and the tunnel fix. Which one? Okay, so let me go to the we change. Fix replay load crash. Replay load crash. This one. Okay. Okay. I think the first thing we should do is get latest. Oh, what happened now? Oof. Okay. Oof. There's some error. I don't know what happens if we press no. Click on abort. Okay. I hope that was all okay. Okay. Good. So we rebase that on main. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing we can do is rename this to gen zh implement. Oh, we also need to okay, implement replay not found. How about we say implement new error dialogues when implement new GUI error dialogues when attempting new GUI implement new GUI error dialogues when attempting to load a replay that was deleted or whose map is missing. Yeah. Is that fair? Yeah. Okay. Then here we also add gen. Okay, so the question I have is, do we want to do, so it looks like Rosian Sky Aero was not so happy with this here. Which is understandable because yeah, it's a new macro that is being used in code, and it's not very intuitive because you look at this and you see this and then you say, okay, I use this function and I don't use this function, right? So can we improve this? Basically, the whole motivation of this is that you can cleanly compile out the substitute text, right? So if you say, I don't want to have these substitutes, I can compile it out so they are not even part of the executable. They're stripped out completely, right? So if you have thousands of these in the game, then yeah, that's quite a bit of data, right? Quite a bit of data. Like, so thousands of strings. Like, for example, you know, the multi-language string table for generals is 5 megabytes, and there are 12 languages in there. 12 languages right now. So 5 megabyte divided by 12, let's just estimate it. Calculator. So 5 megabytes divided by 12. Scientific, please. 5 divided by 12. So that is 0.41. So 400 kilobyte per language roundabouts. Just the estimation, right? And so if all language strings had a substitute, then the executable would be 400 kilobytes larger to have these substitutes. And if the substitutes are not used, then they will still increase the executable by this much. And in terms of this game in particular, it's a lot because the executable is just 6 megabyte or so, right? So the substitution strings, they would take a huge portion. Like, yeah, almost 10%, so to say. Maybe less, 7%, which is a lot. It's a lot. So I think it makes sense to be able to cleanly compile out those substitutes. Yeah, just like looking forward. I mean, it's not a big deal right now, obviously, but it could be if this would mutate into big usage everywhere. Then yeah. So yeah. Oh, yeah, can we write it in a different way? I mean, we could name this the same as this, right? So that the macro has the same name as the function name, so it will call the macro instead of this function. That would be possible. We could also maybe make this private somehow. Yeah, not really. No. Yeah. We could maybe. We could maybe we have to pass a specific argument. I don't know. Yeah. Is this word used for anything else? Let me see. No. Can we change it in a way? We would need to, I don't know. I mean, this is one solution. Yeah, it's not the most pleasant, but it is clean enough. Well, yeah, we need to. Game text. Oh, wow. I just spotted this huge error in code. Oh man. The problem is we cannot use this to compile out this. Hold on. No, we can't. We can't. We'd have to. Fetch assumption. Fetch a subset. Maybe we can put the compile out at this level, but still passing it. The caller would still need to provide a macro of some sort. I don't know what the best approach is. Can we make this function private? I'm not seeing it. No. 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 I don't know. Currently looking at feature substitute once more. If I can write this a bit more elegant, but nothing comes to mind. How about we ask ChatGPT if he has some ideas? Let me add a new chat. I have this code. Do you have any ideas how to make the fetcher substitute macro more intuitive to use? I don't know. I don't even know how to ask it. Less magical. Less magical. Rename fetch to something more self-documenting. Well, that's okay. Get text. Get text. Okay. That's more intuitive. Wrap it in a helper inline function. Yeah, no, that's not good. Default value macro plus overload combo. What? Use a wrapper class. Game text helper. Fallback. No. uh, the main purpose of this macro is to be able to compile out the substitute strings of the callers. This is to be able to compile out the substitute. This should not be lost. Yeah. Thank. That's a critical detail. You want to avoid compiling substitute strings into binary. Yes, exactly. The fallback string must not appear in compiled code. Yes. 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 A macro is the only viable solution. Yeah. Smarter macro design. Okay, let me see that. Making the macro look and behave like a function call. This is functionally the same as the original, but with a more intuitive name. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't have much. Extra safety, avoid side effects in fallback. Guard against misuse, parsing a function call as fallback, you can document it. Why not inline functions? Does not work. Yeah. Rename it, document it clearly. Exclude it. Did we document that? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably fine. Yeah. I mean, one thing we could do is like put this name as a macro, but I don't like that because yeah, the macro is the same name as a function, which probably asks for trouble at some point. It's better to have macros take this uppercase with underscores naming convention, which makes it more obvious, less error prone. Yeah. Maybe. On the other hand, it's nice to be able to just like remove the macro and then everything would still work the same because it would then just call the real function instead of the macro, right? So that's also nice. Yeah. Yeah. I think I will leave it for now. Maybe I have some better idea in the future. Okay. Then let's replicate. Replicate. Replicate this. I asked chat chip. He has no better ideas. Good. We have that. Then we take that. Okay, applied cleanly and well done. Much appreciated. Looks good. Then we do a okay. Then next we do this one. And that. Okay. Cleanly, cleanly. Okay. Put a fix up here. Implement new query. Okay. So there's one more thing. I wonder if we maybe should improve this text here a little bit. Okay. Prompts a... how about we load for the... search for this instead. Okay. Prompts a replay not found. Prompts a... prompts a message box when the replay was deleted. Prompts. Maybe we write it as now prompts. Right. Prompts. Prompt the message box. Prompts. Prompts a message box when a replay was deleted. Yeah. Prompts a message box when the map used by the replay was not found. Yeah, I think we can do that. Okay, then let me rebase that. Interactive auto squash, rebase. Okay. Okay, so that puts it into generals and 0 hour. Looks good. And this one, game text, yep. Game text, yeah. Yeah, looks very good. Okay, cool. Then we push that. Push. Force push. Okay. Then we delete some of these ones here. Yeah. Okay. Delete. All right. Okay, cool. And then we add a comment here. Refresh. Okay. Replicate it to generals without conflicts. Replicate it to generals without conflicts and commit title improved. Good, then we put a checkbox here. Good, then guess we have to wait for that one. We should probably add a comment here. Please do not call this directly, but use the fetcher substitute macro. I think we should do that. Okay. Then we do the same here in generals. I think that makes it a bit easier to understand. Okay, good. What next? What about this one here? Okay, there's still open question. What about this one here? I made some changes that simplify. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Do log output. Okay. Debug crash. Debug not init. Okay. Perhaps this should stay. For example, what happens if this function is called in headless mode? This function is called in headless client. Make debug message box wrapper show message box before game window crash. What? Show message. I don't understand. What does this change fix now? May go unnoticed. There's no message box. Calls to assert crash may go unnoticed. There's no message box. Okay, I actually have no idea how this should be. For some reason, he decided to make this a log output. Debug log. Why is this a log now? I don't understand why it has to be a log. Did he explain this? What would happen if we called what would happen if we called why does it need to be a log message instead? I really don't understand this. I don't know. Why does it have to be like this? Down here it is a message box. It's weird. It's really weird. Further down below, it does call message box wrapper on an error. I'm quite tired already. I think I would take a break here. Yeah. I think I'll take a break. I feel like I will make mistakes now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.